Warning. Our host is technically a fun dad, but does not guarantee coolness by any known teen standard.
Hey, welcome back to Dad Space. It's Dave. Are we doing well? Yeah, we're back. You and me, together again. Best friends, buddies, compadres. It's a word I don't say often. Compadres. Okay, I'm going to have to add that one to the list. Okay, well, welcome back to Dad Space. Glad to be with you. What do we do here? Well, it's a space for dads, by dads. And the idea here is that you and I get together, talk about dad stuff, so that you aren't feeling alone at 3 o'clock in the morning when it's bottle feeding time and your partner goes, "Tag, you're it." And you're up. It's pitch black in the house. You've stepped on 5 toys. You hardly know where you are. You're nodding off, but you're like, wait, I'm going to listen to Dad Space. Yeah, I'll keep you company as you do the feedings with little Junior, little Missy there. Okay, great. I'm Dave. Nice to have you here. If it's your first time listening to Dad Space, the idea here is we're creating a space for dads one episode at a time and building out a community of dads who care about you, and we care about each other, and we're here to serve each other, and that's the reason why we're here. One of the most important things about being a dad is our relationship with our partner and how that plays out in front of our kids, because it becomes the foundation for how our kids will grow up, respect others, and respect their own relationships. When they get to that stage, it's coming, by the way. I know Junior there is only like 6 months old, but one day Junior's going to be out there in the world, far from you, and you will have no input, and you'll not know where they are, nothing. It's going to happen, just so you know. I'm sorry, but that's reality. Kids grow up. It's what they do. And as we live our relationship in front of our family, it becomes an anchor point for them. If we do it terribly, then they're apt to either copy what we did or do some variation or rebel. We can do it really well, and they also can copy, imitate, or rebel from a great relationship. We don't know. But the one thing that we do know is whether we're in relationship and marriage with our partner for co-parenting, we're separate, but we're still parenting our family from a distance. There's a relationship piece that we need to understand. So I want to talk about trust, truth, and tense talks. How's that for T's? There's a lot of T's in that. And some strategies to help with our marriage recovery. If we're in that point where things are rough, maybe this conversation will help. So I'm glad you're here. Let's dive into what we're going to talk about today. Thanks for being here. It's funny, people say, don't drink coffee when you podcast. And to them, I say, good day, sir, because I love my coffee while I'm recording. And yeah, I'm a little punchy today. I don't know what's up with me. Maybe it's the coffee. I don't know. My wife changed. We got a different type of coffee, and it's, it's like, and we talk about it. It's like, well, we'll try this one. And we're both like, no. So we have to work our way through this batch of coffee. We don't want to throw it away. That'd be terrible. But it's just not our favorite. And you're like, well, I'll tolerate this, right? So sometimes, here's a segue, sometimes in our marriage, we got to tolerate some stuff. We got to work through some stuff and not just throw it away. Wow, that all came together. Anyways, that's kind of something that we need to think about as we parent, as we do the dad thing, and as we live in relationship with our partner, that special person who helped us become a dad, right? Well, we need to address that relationship too. It's just as important as our relationship with our kids and with ourselves. And I think that trust is one of the key foundations for any healthy marriage. But when it's broken, when trust is broken, even the simple everyday conversations can feel like you're navigating a minefield. You're walking on eggshells. Things are just not working as they should. So this episode here on Dad Space explores the warning signs that trust might be eroding in your relationship, why it matters for dads, and practical ways for us to rebuild connection with our partner and with our kids. So whether you're just noticing some distance in your relationship currently, or you're working to heal after hurt, you're not alone. Let's talk about the trust, respect, and hope that we want for our family. And I'm going to give you 3 signs that trust is fading from your marriage. And this is for all you dads, including me. First one, our conversations, they feel like a minefield. They feel like a trap. They feel like something bad's going to happen in just day-to-day conversations. When our trust is strong in our marriage, in our relationship, you can talk about anything. When it's shaky, you kind of walk around on eggshells. You're afraid that any word or topic could set off like a war between you and your partner. Instead of open and spontaneous connection, conversations often become more guarded and filled with stress. And as a dad and a partner, you might find yourself second-guessing every word or avoiding important topics altogether. I'm just not going to bring it up. Taking small, honest steps like sharing feelings, even when it's tough, can open the path to rebuilding safety and trust. At the time of recording this, in the last few days, I've had some pretty rough days. I don't know what's going on with me, but I just feel like my situation in life, I'm not the go-to person anymore. It's like the world is operating around me and it doesn't need my input. Between how my wife parents, what happens with my kids, and life and bills and money and stuff, I just feel like I'm like on a deserted island by myself, and nobody needs me right now in the day-to-day. And it's scary because I feel like nobody cares about my opinion. Nobody cares about my input, my direction, my wishes. It's like this happened and yeah, it's done. And I'm like, well, why? Why did that happen? Oh, we didn't want to bother you with it or whatever. So I just kind of feel like sometimes because I'm separate and I'm outside of the conversation that I don't feel included. And I'm wondering if that's kind of how you treat your partner at times. That you just go ahead and make decisions and do things and your partner has no say. And there's no communication. Something's broken in that process of coming up with the next step, the big decision, where to spend the money, what to buy, what to invest in, how to parent, how to discipline. Something's happening and you're not including your partner. And there's an awkwardness. And then there's a space. And then the space becomes larger to the point where it becomes the Grand Canyon. And you just feel alone. So I'm wondering if you're doing that to your partner. No, I'm not blaming my partner for doing that. It's mostly because of me that I feel this way. But I'm just curious, how are you treating your partner in the moment? Are things a little shaky? You're walking around on eggshells? Then we need to get back to talking to each other again and having those conversations and not feeling so awkward. So be honest and take small steps. That's really going to help. The second part is you seem to check up with each other instead of checking in with each other. It's normal to check in with your partner out of care, but when trust fades, these moments shift into more like suspicion. Like, where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? And there's a tone there, right? Instead of genuine connection, you find yourself interrogating each other or feeling interrogated by your partner. Choosing to check in daily with curiosity and respect, it really does help to restore that emotional safety that you once had that was really important to you. And it turns these tense interactions back into moments of support. Are you checking up or are you checking in with your partner? I think it's important to make time and make it a priority, and don't make it a happenstance that you actually have time together. Oh, look, we're together. The kids aren't here. We can talk about stuff. It shouldn't surprise you when time creeps its way in and you have connection time. It should be a priority in your calendar somehow that you check up and you also check in. And I think checking in is probably better than checking up. So focus on that and create time. And then the one thing that is an indicator that I see in relationships where things are going off the rails is you always seem to assume the worst about each other. And it seems to be your default setting every time you speak. Are you assuming the worst of your partner? When we lose our trust, it seems to be easier to assume negative intentions from our partner. We see innocent actions through a lens of doubt and suspicion. And this cycle seems to reinforce the hurt that we're feeling, and then distance is created for both partners, and then it just falls apart. One powerful change: choose to believe the best in each other, that they have the best intentions even if it wasn't delivered the right way. They did the best they had with what they could. And we just default to, we believe they were trying their hardest. We don't believe they did it out of spite. We don't believe they did it out of ignorance or arrogance. But we assume the best and not just default to assuming the worst. Assume that your partner has done and given their best to you. And give them the benefit of the doubt, just as you would want them to do for you. It's that old adage. Do what you want to others that you want done back to you. It's kind of a thing. And it shows up in everything we do. I think as we shift away from assuming the worst to anticipating the best, it slowly breaks the cycle of bringing hope back into our marriage when maybe hope was leaving our marriage and maybe trust was failing. Stop assuming the worst of everybody all the time. There's a reason why people do what they do. And if we can understand them and get a sense of their intention and assume that everything that they're doing is their best, I think that we have a better approach to how we deal with people. I shared this example on past episodes of Dad Space, where I wish that our life had bumper stickers. Bumper stickers like you would see on a car. Like those cars that teach kids how to drive, teenagers. Or the bumper sticker that says, this car is standard manual transmission on my first day. So please be kind, right? Like, I don't know what I'm doing and this thing is hard to drive. So everybody seems to give a little bit of grace when there's context to this terrible driver in front of you, driving too slow, popping the clutch and the truck's bouncing all over the place. Or they make weird turns out of no reason. They're learning. So give them some space. Back away. The back of a fire truck. Give me some space, right? A school bus. This bus stops at all railway crossings. Okay, I know that. I know there's a railway crossing coming up, so I know this bus is going to stop. It's not going to surprise me because I read the bumper sticker. I read the sign. I think that all of us would do great if we could read the sign on the person in front of us that's annoying us in the moment. Standing in the grocery line and this person's taking forever. Well, they just lost their son at the hospital and they're picking up a few groceries and things on the way home. Their son has passed away. Oh. Would you give them a little bit more grace in that moment? This person who's driving down the road just got terrible news about their health. And they're completely clueless to what they're doing, and they just turned in front of you for no reason, and you blared the horn and flipped them off. How's that going to help? Right? So if there was a sign in the window that said, I got bad health news today. Oh. Go ahead. I'll let that one slide. I won't overreact, right? I think we would do well if we had bumper stickers and all of us could wear them. Kind of like the NASCAR. If you live in the US, the NASCAR, they have all their logos on the drivers, driving suits. It shows all the people that sponsor them. Imagine that visual, but for the things that we're dealing with. Loss, financial problems, bad news, divorce, kids that hate you, right? Pain, fears, doubts. Would we treat people differently if we knew that they were struggling with something? I think we would. And I wish we had those. I don't know how we make that happen. But I'm just saying, give people some space. Give your partner some space. Don't assume the worst. Don't assume that they're just a terrible driver. No, they're struggling with a bad health diagnosis and they don't know what to do. They're not thinking about their driving. And they're annoying you because they're driving too slow or making stupid lane changes. Relax. Give them some space. Be slow to anger. Right? Give people space. Give your partner space and stop assuming the worst. Create open communication and love each other. Get back to what made you fall in love with a person in the first place and make them a priority. Some takeaways for us as Dad Space listeners. Here's some thoughts. If your trust is low, communication will start to feel tense and unsafe. Be gentle with yourself and be gentle with your partner as you work your way through this. That's when trust is low. Check in should be a sign of care, not control. I'm not here to check in with you to control you, but with practice, you can rebuild mutual respect even after setbacks in your relationships. Dads play a key role in modeling trust and honesty, both in marriage and with their kids. And lastly, real trust grows from small, consistent choices to communicate openly, assume the best at all times, and repair mistakes together. You can do this. And you can make your marriage better and have better, long-lasting connections by following these few little ideas. Your marriage and family deserves honesty, hope, and healing, and no dad needs to go it alone. So if you're interested, keep following the Dad Space podcast. Hit the follow button, all those things, so you know when a new episode comes out. And reach out when you have dad-related questions, thoughts, concerns, challenges. You can always reach me through dadspace.ca. Love to connect. I love to speak to people like you who listen to the show and connect with you, and maybe we can have a virtual coffee together. I can finish off all this coffee that I'm not happy with. And if you want to support the show and help me get more better coffee than what I'm drinking right now, because it's, it's what it is. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link in the show notes. I'd love for your support, and then we'll use that money to help dads. Thank you for being part of the show. Thank you for listening. And remember, never assume the worst. Always assume the best. And keep doing it. I'm there for you. I'm cheering you on. Thanks for listening to Dad Space. Hey, thanks for sticking around here to the end of Dad Space. I appreciate you for pressing play and being a part of our community at dadspace.ca is the website, as always. And if you are interested and you'd like to fill up our cup, because dads, we drink coffee. So, hey, anytime you feel the need to say, I want to give David coffee, I would love it. I would appreciate it. I take 2 cream in my coffee, no sugar, because it's not a soda for our American friends. It's a coffee. Just cream. What do you take in your coffee? Let me know. Dadspace.ca. If you want to support the show, there's a Buy Me a Coffee right there. Love to fill up my cup, and I thank you in advance. And thank you for being part of Dad Space. We'll talk soon.